Granny, and welcome back to our cooking show. This is Dixie, this is Cindy, and we're all about the same age.
You're first.
Oh, I have one garden, but it's almost an acre. Because when my husband gets on the tractor, he just plows and plows, and he just keeps on plowing. So we've got about an acre's worth of garden. But I have a big garden, so Mama can out of it, and then we can get to a lot of the older people around here that can't put out a garden. So we take in vegetables with what we have left.
I can't work in the garden anymore. Nick does our gardening, and we have probably about 7 different dabs of gardens. But then we have one big garden where the old garden was always at it. But we have spots by the trailers and spots by the old smokehouse and just wherever he decides to dig a patch of dirt.
Green beans, soup beans, pinto beans, corn, squash, zucchini, potatoes, tomatoes, cucumbers, lettuce, onions, squash. What else do we grow? Sweet potatoes, okra, radishes, beets.
He grew carrots one year, but they didn't do too good.
I'm trying to think.
Oh, we've got pumpkins in ours and our corn.
How do you protect your garden from pests and animals?
Cayenne pepper.
Well, right now I've been using a 410, and it still ain't working, but I have absolutely burnt those deer's hind end up, that 410. So I did break down and go buy me some deer repellent, and it ain't working either. So I guess if they keep on, I'm gonna be having deer early in the freezer because I'm about over it.
So what does the cayenne pepper do?
You sprinkle it on your plants, and when they come and nibble on it and get them a bite, it'll set their hind end on fire and they won't come back.
Well, I'll tell you right now, I put it on mine. And I looked out there, and they was dang bean plants going up in the air where that was chomping on them.
Well, we don't have deer.
Didn't help a bit, but we have all kinds of deer at our house. Deer, bear, coons, rabbits, whatever. And them deers have been tearing my tomatoes all to pieces. And my beans.
We just got turtles and snails and muskrats and rabbits. Coyotes came through and wiped everything out here a couple of years ago, and it's not built back up yet. It even got my cat.
Look, deer's been in here and are eating my tomatoes. Look, they're on the ground. They've done took a bite. Guys, I have got to sign off here before I sin. This is just absolutely making me mad.
I'm Linda, and everyone calls me Granny. And tonight, we're fixing the beets. We're going to can beets, and I'm going to cut the top off. Tops off from them, but always leave at least a little bit on top, because if you don't and you cut that off, the beet is going to bleed when you boil it to get done, and that's going to mess up your good juice that you're going to have for your beets. We are boiled these little tiny beets separate from my big beets, so we're going to peel them and get them ready to pickle and put them in the jar. And cut the stems off. Make sure they're washed good. And they're ready. There are bigger beets that we had, so I'm going to peel them, and then I'm going to show you how we cut them up so they're make them bite-sized to go into our jars. I canned the others like the little beets, and I got 7 pints out of them. But these are a lot bigger. Cut them down, and then I cross them over. Try to make them bite-sized so when we open them up, okay, I'm going to go can my beets now. We've let them cook for about 4 hours because they were big beets. So I'm going to put the vinegar in it. And I usually put a cup of vinegar to a cup of sugar. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm going to start out with 10 cups of vinegar. And I want you to know this is really a messy job when you're canning beets, because all that beet stain will stain your clothes if you got good clothes on. So there I put 10 cups of vinegar and 10 cups of sugar. And I'm going to put about 2 tablespoons full of pickling spice. And we like a lot of juice in ours because we fill our jars with a lot of juice in them, so when we eat the beets out, we'll have juice where we can pickle eggs with it. Beets are ready to go in the jar. They started boiling. And we usually put more juice in them. This colander that I'm using, that was my mama's when I was back home. She gave it to me. Which I have several that I have bought. And they are really old. You can hardly find them anymore. And I'm glad she gave it to me because I'm the only one now left here canning. Now when you put the ring on them, put it on pretty tight. And then turn them upside down. And that makes them seal better. These here have already sealed. These was our little beets that we canned earlier. today, and then we had to cook the big beets.
This is pickled eggs. We use these with our pickle beets that we can. And then we boil our eggs and we drop them down in there. They're usually better if you leave them for 2 or 3 days and let them pickle all the way through. But at this house and my house, we don't do that. We drop them in and let them turn a little bit red and eat them. But I'm a salt eater. So I eat a lot of salt. I don't have high blood pressure. It wouldn't matter if I did. I'd still eat a lot of salt. But I salt everything.